All right, everybody, this is Nash here, and whew, what a game, what a game, what a game. Really weird game. If you heard Sark talk about it after the not a press conference, but in his talking with Craig Way on the radio, he said, man, what a weird game. And yes, it was. The Texas Longhorns win 33-30 versus Kansas State. Now, a lot of people would, if you just looked at 33-30, you'd assume, okay, Kansas State, they went in there, they had a really good game, they're a really good team, Texas won, okay, good stuff, right? There's two ways that you can look at this. Okay, some people are probably going to be looking at this going, man, bad win, bad win, bad win, and they're terrified with what they saw. Well, the way that I'm going to look at this is Texas, and we're going to talk about a lot of the bad stuff that went on in this video, in this game, in this video, but Texas, what they did was they were able to overcome almost to what for other teams, this would probably be insurmountable odds. But Texas was able to overcome that and still get a victory. So that is something that I'm going to be focusing on. And honestly is my main takeaway because you know what, at the end of the day, Texas is now 5-1, 8-1 in the conference. Oklahoma State is beating Oklahoma currently. It's just out of the half. They got an interception just now. Right now, Texas is in the driver's seat to not only lead the Big 12, but end up in the Big 12 championship. And everything that was on the table yesterday is still on the table now today. Possibly even more. We'll see how some of the rest of the slates go. But before you do all this and before you go any further, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then comment down below your thoughts on the game. I really would appreciate any support at all. And let's just start talking about this. Okay, so when you look at this, Kansas State, they scored, 4 touchdowns? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 touchdowns, okay? Where did these touchdowns start? Honestly, the defense had a dominant game, okay? I understand Will Howard, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Had a great day passing the football, a lot better than I expected. But some of that is part due to coverage and how we're operating the coverage, leaving guys wide open. And then this is also something that's changed the game completely. You look at these 4 touchdowns that they had, okay? That's 28 points. That's 28 points worth of touchdowns right there, with an extra point, obviously. One of their touchdowns started on the 32. That was specifically the last touchdown. Second to last touchdown. Where does the drive start? Starts on the Texas 12. Okay? So they're starting inside the red zone and then starting just outside the red zone on the last 2 drives. The touchdown before that, their only touchdown where they actually had to drive down the field and, be a football team against Texas. Yeah. Their only time doing that. Touchdown in 8 plays, 75 yards. Nothing really to, nitpick there. Then they got handed the ball on the 42. So we've handed Kansas State the ball on the 12, the 32, and the 42. And every single time they scored. That's just, look, you can't keep doing that, okay? You can't do that. Malik Murphy, I was concerned. I mentioned... I thought he was going to handle a lot better. I was concerned about how he would handle confidence, feeling confident. Because early on, it had to have been, he was 80% completion percentage. The yards per attempt was sky high through the roof. He was looking amazing. I put out a tweet, a quarterback controversy happening. And not to say that I'm thinking that a quarterback controversy is happening, but I know Texas fans. I've been one my entire life. If there's one thing Texas fans are good at, it's making a quarterback controversy. Whether there should be one or not, we're good at it. So I was like, you know what? It's happening. And then not immediately after that, but after that, it was just you saw bad play after bad play. Really, it's just, Sark talked about it. You have to be able to throw the football away. Have to be able to throw the football away. If you know if your wide receiver is not there, just don't throw it. Just don't throw it, right? If Jonathan Brooks isn't there in the screen, why are you throwing it? Why are you still throwing it there? Just don't throw it away, live for another down, or at least punt the ball. That way we can flip field position and don't try and force things. So there's going to be a lot for Malik to learn, but at the end of the day, Malik has shown a lot of stuff that's very positive. One of those things is the deep ball. I mean, that deep ball, that thing was beautiful today. Okay. He had one deep ball miss, I think, all day long. The running backs, look, I told people, look, if Texas is going to win the game, it's because we ran the ball well. 230 yards. 230 yards. 112 yards rushing from Jonathan Brooks. 90 yards rushing from C.J. Baxter. I was five Jonathan Brooks yards short of hitting one of my little underdog parlays. So if you want to go do those, use code NASH for your first dollar for dollar deposit on the underdog. Get matched 100 up to minimum 10, up to $100. They all match your first deposit. Look, if you use my parlays, man, there's a good chance y'all walked home with some money. And especially if I told y'all, hey, pick your 3 favorite ones and don't just do 3. Okay. I almost hit multiple 5-leg parlays with this game. It was absolutely crazy. Really, honestly, probably should have had another one. If Will Howard, there was a point early on, right? I'm talking not too early, but before the second half. Late in the first half, there was a point where it was he had 8 yards passing. I remember I was like, yo, I got more fingers than he does passing yards. This is just, it was insane to watch the complete difference in the shift and how things happened. So, you want to see things cleaned up. Specifically when we have the lead. It just feels like, man, this Texas team cannot handle having anything go their way. If we have a great first half, book it. Second half, buckle it in. Okay? If we have a bad first half, book it. Second half, they're going to come out strong. Buckle in. It's just, this game, they're the cardiac horns. They don't, and not to say that, they're coming back from games, but it's just, there's not a game. I mean, my heart rate, it boop, 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 boop. It's like, my watch looks like mountains over here. Okay? So, at the end of the day, what a great game. Atmosphere, I do need to touch on this before I mention anything else or forget to mention it. Fans showed out. And this is a great example of why I don't get so pissy, right? But when people say, oh, why are you saying we? We? Yeah, because I'm a fan. We. Oh, you're not on the team. You're not on the team. You're not doing anything. We. You know what? Tell that to the 100,000 Texas fans that were in the stadium today. Did Texas fans make any sort of effect on the game? At the end, when we held them to a goal line stop, do you think it's just gonna happen like that if the stadium is quiet and there's no fans cheering? Yeah, I'm not saying the fans are responsible for the win, but there's some part that there's at least we make an effect on the game. So you know what? Yes, we the fans. You listen to, if you heard Quan Cosby talked about how at the end of the game you couldn't hear. It's one of those things. It's one of those times where you couldn't hear yourself think. It was that loud on the field. It was absolutely just deafening. The only time that ever was louder was versus Alabama. Texas fans stayed until the very end. And also credit to Kansas State fans. Never left. Never gave up hope. They stayed right in it. And honestly, this is something I expected to see from this Kansas State team. I talked about how on the Orange Bloods live show that you might, Kansas State, this Kansas State team, they're probably most likely are going to punch somebody in the face out to just come out and we're going to come out, punch you in the face, and smack you, see what happens. And Texas might have to respond. Or Texas goes out there, dominates the game, much like Oklahoma State did, and then Kansas State, no, we're going to punch you back in the face, right? We're going to fight. This Kansas State is a fighting team. This is our 7th victory in a row against Kansas State. Yeah. Back to the running backs. Jonathan Brooks, 112 yards. CJ Baxter, 90 yards. 9 yards per carry. 5.1 for Brooks. Jaden Blue, 11 yards. 5.5 yards per carry. Keelan had an 8-yard run, too. I understand where some people are going to want to say, we should have just ran the ball more. Well, you kind of got to pass so you can run the ball. You can't just sit there and run, spam run. This isn't Madden, right? You have to actually, there has to be a plan and a rhyme or reason why you're doing things and why you're calling things in a certain spot. And also to this effect, look, at the end of the day, now it's like it's just massively, it's clear. One, Sark is not going to, he's going to go for it on 4th down. Especially if we have a long drive, we're inside the 10 or 15 yard line, he's going to go for it. Especially if it's 4th and short. I don't have a problem with that anymore. Because at the end of the day, I've seen enough plays that Steve Sarkisian has called. People can get mad at the play calling all they want. You know what? The play's there. The call is there. The execution isn't. I mean, Red, if he throws the ball in the flat, that's either a touchdown or a first down. Drops the snap, and then it's a fumble. It's just like, it's these little things that we have to start cleaning up. Those interceptions from Malik Murphy, I cannot, those were really bad interceptions. And it's not like, here's the other deal is, he probably should have had 4 to 5. Like, there were more passes that were worthy of being picked off. So, a big growing game from him, especially for how he started out so good. I mean, I cannot overstate that enough. How much he came out, set the world on fire, was looking like, oh my gosh. Now I'm not going to say Wally Pipp, right? But I mean, some people are going to say Wally Pipped him, Wally Pipp Quinn Ewers. But I think Texas fans should have an appreciation for Quinn Ewers now, more of an appreciation of the safety and how much he values not turning over the football. A lot of people want to get mad at the checkdowns. Well, he's not forcing balls into, overly tight windows, or he's not throwing the balls where they shouldn't go to. If the play is dead, he throws it away, or he throws it at the feet. And to the credit of Quinn Ewers, the few times that he has messed up throwing it at the feet and it's a backwards pass, he's jumping on the ball immediately. He's the first person to recognize his own mistake, and he, makes up for it. So, we'll see. Another Jordan Whittington, 3 receptions, 23 yards. Adonai Mitchell, oh my goodness, I can't not mention this guy. 8 receptions, 149 yards, 1 touchdown. They couldn't handle Adonai. They could not. Worthy, he had a decent game. 5 receptions, 48 yards, 9.6 yards per reception. Yeah, I'm just going and looking back at the defense. Tackle for losses, 7 tackles for losses. Tackles for loss. Ethan Burke, 2 sacks, 1 strip sack that was massive. I mean, this defense, this is where it's misleading. Kansas State scored 30 points, yes, but the defense played one hell of a game. They probably, you remove these interceptions, you remove some of these, times where we give Kansas State the ball, like a block punt. You remove these times where we're giving them the ball in prime time, like as prime field position as you can ever get. If you remove those, man, this defense, they did the damn thing. They did the damn thing today, and they kicked some ass. I was really happy watching that defensive performance. Michael Taft, great game. I know a lot of people, including I, have been giving a lot of shit in some versus the Houston game when that happened. All he's done since then is pick off balls and just be an overall effective player for Texas in the back end. At this point, I'm not going to sit here and say overly confident in Michael Taft, but I got confidence in Taft. I got confidence in Taft back there. T'Vondre Sweat. T'Vondre Sweat's an animal. An animal. I'll have to go back and watch on the every play video, which I'm about to start doing right now because I'm about to end this video. But, man, T'Vondre Sweat, that dude, I'll have to see how he went up against BB because that was an area of the game where NFL scouts, you can bet your bottom dollar they were watching that matchup. They were watching two potential first round defensive linemen and offensive linemen go right at it. So that should be fun to watch on the every play video, and keep your eye out for that. But as always, I do appreciate all the support. And you know what? The Texas Longhorns are 8-1. We're going into, we got TCU. We got TCU up next. Then we got Iowa State after them. So at TCU, at Iowa State, and then Texas Tech at home. So 2 more road games, 1 last home game before the season is over. I mean, look, we're already 7/5. We're 75% of the way. I almost said 7/5. We're already 75% of the way through the season. So enjoy it. We're 8-1. This is the best Texas team we've seen in quite a really long time. So if you're not enjoying it at this point, I'm sorry. I don't know what I can do to help you, but I can do this. All right, buddy. Hope you have a great day. Hook!